Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give out praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akakdash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. This is your brother Yassad, back at you with another lesson. We're going to edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. And basically, on my way home from the plantation, I say to the spirit, let me just fire up one, and I was just thinking about yesterday that it's like I was watching a brother video, GMS in his likeness, and I seen that light, I seen that fire upon him, and in my mind it just sparked a fire in me myself, and so now I had to keep pushing, I had to do more works for the Lord, because and this is basically what our video is about, right? Because brothers, hey, you ought to be watching a brother video, you ought to be, hey, you had to be into this word, right? Because the more you stray away from this, the more you not communicating with your brothers, because a brother will always enlighten you through the spirit, right? And the reason why I make me do this video is because, hey, I feel enlightenment in the spirit to hey, do more videos, push more, by just seeing the brother being on fire. I was up on the brother James in his likeness comment board. He bring out a couple precepts, that I posted up and other brothers post up, and hey, it was just fire, really apart. The name of the video was wisdom, and health is strength, something to do with that effect, and hey, it was just yapa. So let's get into some precepts, right? It's a Proverbs. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verses 17. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of a friend. Because hey, basically, sometimes you might be down, you might be going through, because we know we all face many different, spirits, on in this walk, and there's many different, trials and tribulations. It could be you're being oppressed at work, co-workers. It could be even your Eve. It could be, just demons plaguing your mind. But sometimes the Lord, through why you just watching videos, elders, the apostles, the brethren, sometimes a message may come out, and you just taking in that video, and that brother solve one of your problem right there, just through his lesson, because that is how the spirit works, as the scriptures say, comfort one another with these words, so if everybody being as a body in one mind, one, in unity through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakodash, hey, that is how the flow goes, that is how the rhythm goes, right? And hey, in this time here with all these prophecies, we ought to be pushing this word. We ought to be pushing this word and giving each other that exhortation and that boost in the spirit. Hey, we almost there, we almost home. Because I know how it is when you're away from brothers for a while, you're amongst these two-thirds. Hey, nothing spiritual coming out their mouth. Nothing, so that's why the scriptures say, and I'll bring it here in Sirach 37. That be continually with a godly man. Right? Sirach 37 and 12. But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. Because in this world a man fall, these jakes, they're gonna laugh, they're gonna speak badly about you. But what a brother would do, a brother would come and he would enlighten you with the scriptures, and give you that motivation. Hey, that is not the end there, act. That is this year. Sometimes you fall. Sometimes you go make a mistake. You go off somewhere. But as the scripture says in Galatians, he that is spiritual to restore unto one. And by we making videos, we making all these exhortations, as we actually restoring each other. That is the book of Galatians. See here. Galatians 6. Right, really, Galatians chapter 6 and 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fall, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself lest thou be tempted. Yeah, because you being amongst the brotherhood is a good thing. That's why, as the scripture say, iron sharpeneth iron, and I'll bring it back, the Proverbs. Yeah, because hey, your brother, he's gonna make sure and lift you up. He's gonna make sure and lift you up. And sometimes some brothers, hey, you come out to the brothers and ask for prayers, because we all, hey, Ephesians 6, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and wickedness in high places and whatnot, right? Verse 2 says, bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Yahushua Mashiach, right? Because we in this thing here to uplift each other, through the spirit, via this word, and by us doing the works, we're gonna motivate each other. Hey, when you see a prophecy kick off, and hey, this brother fire upon it, that brother fire upon it, hey, give it easy here. Hey, we right around the corner. Hey, the Lord soon to come. Just endure, just endure, just endure, just endure. Because that is it. As the Lord say that, He would rather either you're lukewarm or you're cold. Either you're hot or you're cold, and be not lukewarm, right? So yeah, now is the time to fire up, as Paul say, the Apostle Paul. Now is to, push forward towards the prize. You had to run this race. You had to run this race, because in order for you to reap the victory, you had to endure unto the end. And that's it. I'm gonna get here the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and start at verses 9. It says, two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. And this is what the brotherhood is about. And that's why I'll have to bring here the scripture that's in Corinthians. Right? The scripture say, First Thessalonians 4 and 18. Wherefore, comfort one another with these words. And this is where the admonition and the exhortation is about. Right? It says, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Right? It say again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? Right? Hey, how more plain the scriptures could actually be. Right? All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. How plain the scriptures could be. It's real sweet. As as John say, it was as sweet as honey in his mouth. Let's see what I'll put here again. Next chapter one here, Ecclesiasticus chapter 8 and 9. It says, miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and to give answer as needed required. Yeah, because You ought not to miss not the discourse of the elders, because in these times they, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai appointed, well, I believe through the Spirit, Elataha Apostle, Ella Apostle Taha, Ariamla, Ella Apostle Ka, these men, you know, as 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 the shepherds for the sheep, and how could you miss the shepherd's warning, right? Or you could actually miss the warning from the shepherd, because the shepherd will let you know, hey, don't go this direction, there's danger here and whatnot, right? So you ought to be in the spirit of continuously watching the elders and apostles videos, right? I'm gonna get one more here, just a quick one, to close out. Right. The book of Hebrews 10 and 25, 24. And let us consider one another to provoke. Yeah, provoke unto love and to good works. Hey, you see your brother. Hey, we living in a time that we had to push the works, because the Lord said, blessed is he that whom when the Lord come and find him doing his work. Blessed is a man, right? So yeah, continuously to provoke your brother, nag your brother. Now's not the time. Now's not the time for that. The kingdom of heaven, coming into play. So let we stay in the spirit, let we fire up, right? Because hey, Esau firing up on the spiritual, on the left hand side, right? Esau firing up, Esau getting his thing done. So we know what is the Lord's will, through the spirit. We know how to apply ourselves. So hey, let we get to it. Verse 25, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together. Yeah, when time for camp banging, for feast, all these things always be present amongst the brotherhood, as a manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching. Yeah, so more we ought to just be in the spirit and be in that connection with one another, because hey, we see into the prophecies. Look, for instance, Babylon the Great, China sending out tariffs, retaliating against Babylon. All these nations, the weak saying they are strong in this time, right? So we know this is soon the end of Babylon system, end of Babylon's kingdom, right? And that Esau's kingdom, right? Because we know America is basically like the capital city, Edom, and it's gonna fall according to the prophecies. So let's just continue to stay in the spirit, you know. Just wanna say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakudash, double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone. Salutation to you, Aki. I'm pushing this word in sincerity and truth. Until the next one, I say Shalom.